Jonathan Grounds talking to Latics Play this morning. Jonathan, full-back or centre-half?
Fullback, I think. It's probably the position that I prefer. It's just where I've played most of my games. But like I've said before, I've always, it was something that they encouraged at Middlesbrough, was sort of being able to play a few positions, and always in youth teams and reserve games and things like that. I've played centre half, feel comfortable there as well.
When the gaffer first arrived, he said he only ever knew you as a centre half at Chesterfield, and I'm surprised to see you at full-back.
Yeah, I just think that was sort of where I played when he was playing with me. The majority of the games that I played there, I was playing centre half. I played the odd 2 or 3 at fullback, but most of the games that I've played at Middlesbrough and elsewhere, I've been at fullback.
Do you find yourself being drawn out of position, being used to being the full-back, going too wide, say?
In the early games, yeah, it's always sort of getting your bearings, and hopefully that your players around you will talk to you and keep you closer to them rather than sort of shuffling over to the full-back position. I think that's where you've got to get that communication with the people around you, like I said. But after a few games, you sort of get your bearings and realise that you can't be getting dragged out too wide and leaving yourself too exposed.
Yourself and James Tarkowski are probably one of the best pairings in League One, though, and it'd be a shame to split you up. But how does that sit with you?
I think we've been doing quite well. I think the goals we've conceded, nobody's ever really sort of torn us apart or anything. They've been silly mistakes or set pieces or penalties that we've seemed to be conceding. So I think we play off each other quite well. Taki can attack things really well, and I sort of cover well around him, which is helpful. And that communication is common game by game, where we can talk to others around us, not just full-backs and other centre-halves that we've got to start talking to those midfielders in front of us and helping us out a little bit.
Kasonga arrived at the club, and he went in at centre-half and full-back. It looked like it was a total surprise to him at Rotherham. Was it a culture shock for him?
I'm not too sure about that. I just think it was it was a difficult game to go into at first, and then having myself, who speaks English, and having Matteo, who speaks Italian, next to him, I can imagine it being very difficult for him.
Did it make it difficult for you?
A little bit, yeah, because it was sort of speaking in Chinese whispers when I'm trying to get something to Matteo to go through Kasonga. But I think it's sort of, you can get around it with hand signals and things like that, and the odd scream helps. But I think he'll get there. It's just a sort of bedding in period for him, and then he'll learn the language quickly.